Okay, let us start. Solve the following linear programming problem by using simplex method. Solve the following linear programming problem by using simplex method. The question is maximize z equal to 1000 x1 plus 1200 x2 subject to the constraints 2x1 plus 3x2 less than or equal to, let us say, 600, 3x1 plus 4x2 less than or equal to 800, and x1 x2 greater than or equal to 0. So this is the problem. We know that to solve this problem graphical method is applicable. Why? Because graphical method is useful for solving linear programming problem having two variables. So because there are two variables in the problem, you can use graphical method to solve this example. You can use this method, simplex method, to solve this problem also. And here in the question it is given that solve the following linear programming by using simplex method. So if you apply graphical method and if you solve this problem, even though you will get correct answer but not the marks. Reason, it is clearly given that use the simplex method. Okay. Now simplex method is applicable for any number of variables, whether we have a two variables or more than two variables, you can use simplex method. So let us take three variables here instead of two variables. So let us assume we have this problem. 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 3x3 less than or equal to 600, and second constraint is 3x1 plus 4x2 plus 2x3 less than or equal to 800, x1 x2 x3 greater than or equal to 0. So this is the problem. Now this problem you cannot solve by using graphical method. Reason, there are three variables in the problem. So we have to compulsory use simplex method even though if it is not given, even though if it is not mentioned. So linear programming problem is possible to solve by using two methods. One is graphical method, other one is a simplex method. There is a limitation of graphical method. It is applicable only for two variables. If there are more than two variables, we have to go for the simplex method only. Okay. Now the question is how to solve this problem. So solution. The first step, convert the given problem into standard form. Convert the given problem into standard form. So standard form of given linear programming problem. Standard form. Now how to convert into standard form? So there are certain steps. First step, see your objective function. Our objective function should be in maximize form. Our objective function should be in maximize form. If it is in minimize form, if objective function is in minimize form, then we have to convert it into maximize. Convert minimize into maximize. How to convert minimize into maximize? Just multiply this by -1. Multiply this by -1 and you get maximize form in place of minimize form. And if I multiply this maximize form with -1, I will get minimize form. So converting minimize to maximize or maximize to minimize, just you have to multiply equation by or function by -1. So this is the way to convert minimize into maximize or maximize into minimize. But listen carefully. Our first step is our objective function should be in maximize form. If it is in minimize form, then we have to convert in maximize form. And if it is in already maximize form, just keep that as it is. So just keep this maximize objective function as it is. So rewrite this maximize z 1000 x1 plus 1200 x2 plus 1100 x3. So nothing we have to do for this particular step because it is already in maximized form. Now the second one. Second one is see the right hand side values of each constraints. All these values should be positive or zero but cannot be negative. So if anyone is negative, by chance we have here minus 600. If that is given in the question, so multiply this by minus 1. So if we multiply this constraint by minus 1, then what we get? Here we get minus 2x1, minus 3x2, minus 3x3. And instead of this minus 600, we get plus 600. And sign of inequality is also changed. So instead of less than or equal to, we have to write greater than. Or instead of greater than, we have to write the less than. So sign of inequality, less than becomes greater than. And greater than becomes less than if we multiply it by minus 1. So if we multiply it by minus 1, sign of inequality will change. Right now in this given question, this value is already positive value, so nothing we have to do. Once again, if we have a negative value here, we have to multiply it by minus 1, and in that case, we have to change the sign of inequality as well as sign of all the variables. Right now it is positive, so nothing we have to do. Then after, what we have to do? Convert this less than or equal to into equal to sign. Convert this less than or equal to into equal to sign by adding slack variable. Add slack variable. By adding slack variable, we have to convert this less than or equal to sign into equal to sign. If there is a greater than or equal to sign, if there is a greater than or equal to sign, convert this greater than or equal to sign into equal to sign by subtracting surplus variable. And here when there is a greater than or equal to sign, we have to add artificial variable. So if there is a less than or equal to sign, simply we have to add slack variable. If there is a greater than or equal to sign, we have to subtract surplus variable and we have to add artificial variable. Why we have to add artificial variable, that we will discuss later on when we have that type of situation. And if there is only equal to sign here, instead of greater than less than, only equal to sign is there, even though you have to add artificial variable in that. So we have to add artificial variable when there is a greater than or equal to sign or equal to sign. But if there is a less than or equal to sign, in that case simply you have to add slack variable. So because both the constraint having less than or equal to sign, here in this we have to add only slack variable. So simply add slack variable in this constraint to convert this less than or equal to into equal to sign. So subject to the constraint 2x1 plus 3x2 plus 3x3 plus you have to add slack variable. Let us say S1 is the symbol for the slack variable. And now instead of less than or equal to, we have to write equal to sign. Why we have to add slack variable? So we know that the total of this should be either 600 or less than 600. So if it is exactly 600, our value of slack variable is 0. And if it is less than 600, then we get some positive value. By chance the total of this is, let us say, 500. So in that case we have to add 100 to make this equal to 600. So this 100 is the slack. So the value of S1 is either 0 or more than 0, but it cannot be negative. So we have to add slack variable to convert this less than sign into equal to sign. Here also you have to convert this less than or equal to into equal to sign by adding slack variable. So what we get here, 3x1 plus 4x2 plus 2x3 plus one variable, another variable S1 is already there. So let us add S2. So these two, S1 and S2, are slack variable. And once again you have to write, after converting all this less than or equal to or greater than or equal to inequalities into equality, we have to rewrite our objective function, maximize objective function. So our maximized objective function is right now 1000x1 plus 1200x2 plus 1100x3 plus you have to write this both the slack variable with zero coefficient 0s1 plus 0s2. So you have to rewrite your objective function, and in that objective function you have to introduce slack or surplus variable with zero coefficient. And obviously this x1, x2, x3, s1, s2 all are greater than or equal to 0. So this is known as the standard form of the given linear programming problem. So what is we have to do in standard form? Our objective function should be in maximized form with all the variables we have to include it. We have to write with zero coefficient for slack or surplus variable. And here in right hand side values of the each constraint should be positive, that is another step, and all the constraint must having equal to sign. So we have to add either slack variable or surplus variable. If less than or equal to sign, then we have to add slack variable. If greater than or equal to sign, then we have to subtract surplus variable, but in that case we have to add artificial variable also. Why we have to add artificial variable, that we will discuss in our next lecture. And if there is a equal to sign, even though we have to add slack artificial variable. Okay, once we converted given problem into standard form, our next step is convert this standard form into another form which is known as the tabular form. So tabular form of the given problem. So now let us convert this into tabular form. In tabular form, the format is fixed. You have to learn that format. The format is like this. Here you have to write basis, then you have to write CB, then you have to write XB. Here exactly above of the XB you have to write CJ. Here you have to write all the variables original as well as slack surplus. So X1, X2, X3 are original variable, S1, S2 are slack variable, and at last you have to write one another column of ratio, and you have to prepare table like this. The first column is the column of basis, then XB, then CJ, and the last one is ratio. Okay. Then after first step, you have to fill up the top row of the table. That means this CJ. Here you have to write this, see this variable, and write the corresponding coefficients from the objective function. Coefficients from the objective function. So coefficient of x1 in objective function, this is my objective function. Coefficient of x1 is 1000, so you have to write here 1000. Coefficient of x2 is 1200. Coefficient of x3 is 1100, and here you have to write 0 0. So here in CJ you have to write the coefficient of the objective function. Then next step, always here you have to fill up the first column, that means basis. In basis you have to write slack variables. This is compulsory step. So here you have to write S1 and S2. Okay, now the coefficient of x1, S1 and S2, that means basis variable, that you have to write here. C, that is also stand for coefficient. This C and this C both are same coefficient, but here you have to write for all variables, and here you have to write only for basis variable. So my basis variable are S1 and S2. The coefficient of S1 and S2 in objective function. In objective function, coefficient of S1 and S2 is 0. So you have to write 0 here. Okay. Then by using first equation, you have to fill up this first column. First of all, this right hand side value 600 you have to write here. Then coefficient of x1, that is what, 2, so you have to write 2 here. Coefficient of x2, that is 3. Coefficient of x3, that is 3. Coefficient of s1, that is 1 here. And coefficient of S2, but there is no S2, so we have to write coefficient 0. Now By using this second constraint, we have to write values of second row. So first is 800, that you have to write in XB 800. Then what we have to write? See, coefficients 3, 4, 2. There is no S1, so 0, and S2, 1. So 3, 4, 2. So here you have to write 3, 4, 2, no S1, so 0, and S2, that means 1. Okay. Then after, our next step is, okay, so this is nothing but the tabular form of the standard form. This is my standard form. Converting this standard form into tabular form. The format of table should be like this. First column is basis, then CB, then XB. Here you would write CJ, all variable X1, X2, X3, and slack variable, surplus variable you would write here. The coefficients from the maximize objective function you would write here for the corresponding variables. And here in basis always we would write slack variable in the first table or surplus variable, and the coefficient of that variables from objective function you would write here. And these are nothing but the right hand side values, and these two rows are nothing but the two equations, given two equations. So we have to convert the given problem into standard form. Then after, our next step is calculate the value of Zj. How to calculate Zj? There is one formula. Zj equal to, the formula is summation of CB into Xj. CB means this, and Xj, so either you can take this, or you can take this, or you can take this, or this, or this. So if you want to calculate this value, you have to use this one. If I want to calculate this value, I have to use this one. But this CB is fixed for all. CB is fixed for all. So if I want to calculate this value, obviously I have to use this one. And my CB is fixed. Multiply corresponding variables. So 0 into 2, that is what 0. Then 0 into 3, that is what 0. And then summation. Summation means total. So this into this plus this into this, and that total. So this into this is 0, this into this is 0, and that total is what? 0. So here we get 0 only. Now to calculate this value, you have to use this column and this column and multiply corresponding value. 0 with 3, 0 with 4. So 0 with 3 is 0, 0 with 4 is 0, and that total is 0. So in that way, you have to write the answer. So obviously, because these are always 0 here, we get always here 0, 0, 0, and 0 in the first table of simplex method. Now these are the values of Cj. Now subtract, Zj. Now subtract this value of Zj from Cj. So Cj minus Zj. Cj, that means this value, minus Zj means this value. So 1000 minus 0, so we get 1000. Now 1200 minus 0, we get 1200. 1100 minus 0, we get 1100. 0 minus 0, we get 0, and 0 minus 0, we get 0. Now from this, all values of Cj minus Zj, you have to first of all find out the positive values. And from the positive value, you have to select the maximum. So these are the only three positive values, 1000, 1200, and 1100. And from that, you have to select the maximum, and maximum is what? 1200. So the corresponding variable, that means what? X2. This X2 will enter into the basis. This X2 will enter into the basis. So out of these two variables, S1 and S2, we have to remove one variable, and in that place we have to enter X2. So once again, listen carefully. After calculating Cj minus Zj, we have to select the maximum from the positive values. So there are three positive values, we have to select the maximum. By chance, if we have a same positive value, let us say 1200, 1200, both are positive and both are maximum, you can select anyone randomly. You can select either x1 column or this x2 column randomly. So there is no any another rule. If the values are same, if there is a tie, you can break the tie by selecting anyone randomly. Right now this 1200 is the highest value, so we have to select that column only. So this column is known as key column. This column is known as key column. Now if no one is positive here, if all are either negative or zero, if no one is positive, that indicate it is the end of the problem. That indicate it is the end of the problem. Okay, means we have an optimum solution in that situation. Right now we have a positive values that indicate scope of for the improvement of the problem. So this 1200 is the highest value. Select that one. The corresponding column is known as key column, and the corresponding variable, that means what, x2, that variable will enter into the basis in our next table. In our next table, in place of s1 or s2, we have to write x2. Now the question is, in which place we have to write x2? In place of s1 or s2? To decide that one, we have to find out the ratio, which is also known as the replacement ratio. This is also known as replacement ratio, and there is a formula for ratio. The formula is xb. So xb means this one, divided by values of key column. So key column means this one. So the ratio is nothing but xb divided by positive value of key column. Positive value of key column. So in key column, you have to see the positive value. These two are the positive value. If this is negative, don't take ratio. If this one is 0, don't take ratio. So in key column, if no one value is positive, in key column, if no one value is positive, in that case we are not able to find out the ratio, and in that situation you have to write only one sentence: the given problem is unbounded solution. The given problem is unbounded solution, and that is the end of the problem if no one is positive. But right now we know that this both values are positive, so we have to find out the ratio for this two values. So how to find out ratio? xb. xb means this one, divided by key column means this one. So 600 divided by 3. So you have to write here 600 divided by 3. That is what, 200. And 800 divided by 4. That is also 200. Now out of this two value you have to select the minimum. Right now both are same. By chance, instead of this 600, if it is 900, so here we get 900 divided by 3, that means we get 300. In that case we have to select the minimum, that is what, 200. So this corresponding variable, that means what, s2, will leave the basis, and in that place we have to enter x2. So we have to write x2 in place of s2 if these two values are different and minimum value is at s2. Okay, right now what is the problem? These values are same. So you can select anyone randomly. If the value is same, you can select anyone randomly. Same here in Cj minus Zj, if values are same, maximum values are same, you can select anyone randomly. Here minimum value is same, then you can select anyone randomly. So right now let us take this first value, 200. So the corresponding variable, that means what, s2, will leave the basis, and the corresponding row, elements of the elements in this row is known as the key row. So these are the elements of key row, and our key column is this one. So this is key column, elements of key column. But this 3, it is in intersecting point of key row and key column, so it is known as key element. So this 3 is a key element. So once again, out of the positive values of Zj, Cj minus Zj, you have to select the maximum. Maximum is what? Here 1200 for which variable? X2. So X2 will enter into the basis. Out of this two, one will leave, then and in that place we have to write X2. But to decide which one will leave the basis, we have to find out the ratio. And the formula of ratio is this one. After calculating all the values of ratio, you have to select the minimum one. If minimum is at more than one places, you have to select anyone randomly. So right now minimum is 200 occur at two places, so select anyone randomly, selecting this. So the corresponding variable corresponding row is known as key row, and these are the elements of key row, these are the elements of key column, and the intersecting element of key row and key column is known as key element. And once we have a key row, key column, we are able to start next table. What is the interpretation of this? Out of this two, S1 will leave the basis, and in that place we have to write X2. So here in place of S1 you have to write X2 in next table, but S2 remains as it is. S2 remains as it is. Now coefficient of x2 you have to write here. So the coefficient of x2 from objective function is what? 1200. So you have to write 1200 here, and this you have to write 0 as it is. Okay, and now how to calculate this value? See, that is the most important thing. Once we have all these values, our method remains same. You have to calculate Zj, then Cj minus Zj, then you have to select the maximum from the positive value, and that is known as key column, and you have to take ratio, and there is no any extra step you require to learn. So once you have this all values, we can say that it becomes the end of the process, or you can say that end of the method, but you have to repeat the process. Okay, right now we know that this is our key row. So next step is divide all the elements of key row by key elements. So our first row is a key row right now. First row is a key row. So we get here first row directly. Because first row is a key row, we get all these elements directly. Simply divide your all these value by key element. So divide all this by 3. We get all these numbers. So what we get here? So just 600 divided by 3. We get 200. 2 divided by 3, we get 0.6667. Check it. Now 3 divided by 3, we get 1. Once again, 3 divided by 3, we get 1. Then 1 divided by 3, we get 0.3333. And 0 divided by 3, that is 0. You have to take at least 4 digits after decimal point. 4 digits after decimal point to get the exact answer. Okay. And here, because S1 will leave the basis, and X2 will enter. Here in this column, here obviously we get 1 here. Always we get 1 at the place of key element. And remaining place at the key column, you write 0. Here you write 0. Here in place of this, you write 0. So one row, key row and key column is very easy to calculate. Now the question is how to calculate remaining these values. And for that, it is require some mathematics. Once again, here you have to divide all the elements of key row by key element, and in key column you have to put 0 in remaining places. Now to calculate this value, that is one rule that you have to follow. What we have to do? How to calculate this one? So the rule is whatever your old value, that is what 800, minus you have to subtract, minus you have to do something, what you have to subtract? See, in this column, this is the element in key row, and in this is the element in key column. So because we want to find out the value at this place 800, first of all you have to multiply corresponding dotted value. This is the dotted value. So you have to multiply this 600 with 4 and you have to divide it by 300. You have to, sorry, 3, not 300. So 600 into 4 divided by 3. Whatever you will get, that you have to subtract from 800. So 800, so that is a formula. What is the formula? Listen. To calculate this value or this value, the formula remains same. The formula is like this. The new value equal to, new value means this value, equal to whatever your old value. Old value is what right now? 800. Minus something you have to do. And what we have to minus? You have to do the calculation multiplication of two dotted value divided by key element. This is the formula. Multiplication of two dotted value divided by key element. Now dotted value, how to obtain this dotted value? So the corresponding element in a key column and key row, but it should be some dot like, but first of all, how to get this dot? So in key row you have to write, you have to differentiate by using this dot, and in key column you have to write dot, and this you have to write in bracket, that is a key row and key column intersecting point. Now this 800, in place of 800 if we want some another value, so what we have to do? 800 minus multiplication of two dotted value. This two dotted value should be in a key row and key column, but the corresponding values of key row, key column for this 800. So you have to see the dotted value of key column, dotted value of this column and dotted value of this row in which this 800 is there. So 800 is in this row. So in this row dotted value is 4. In this column dotted value is 800. Multiply this two dotted value. So 600 into 4, that is 2400, and divide it by 3. So 2400 divided by 3. So we get 800. So my this calculation is 800 and the old value is also 800. 800 minus 800 we get 0. So you have to write 0 here. Now once again, if I want to calculate this, my old value is what? 3. My old value is this 3. Now in this 3 you have to see this value and this value. Multiply this two value. So 2 into 8, sorry 4, that is 8. 2 into 4, that is 8, divided by 3. 8 divided by 3, that is 2.67. So 2.67 you have to subtract from 3. So you will get this value. Once again, my old value is 3. So this 3 minus what? 2 into 4 divided by 3. Whatever the calculation we get, we will write here. So do the calculation. 2 into 4, 8 divided by 3, that is 2.6666, that you have to subtract from 3. So we get 3 minus 2.66666. So we get 0.3333. Now if I want to calculate here, so my old value is 2. 2 minus, what we will do? The corresponding dotted value is 3. Here dotted value is 4, because in this row, see, you have to see the dotted value in a row and in a column. So in column dotted value is 3 and in row dotted value is 4. So 3 into 4 divided by key element is what? 3. So if we cancel this we get 4. So 2 minus 4 we get minus 2. So you have to write here minus 2. Once again, if I want to calculate for this, my old value is 0. 0 minus what we have to do? So here it is 1 and in this row it is 4. So multiply 1 with 4 and divide it by 3. So 1 into 4 divided by 3. Whatever we get, you have to subtract from 0. So this is 1 into 4, 4. 4 divided by 3, that is 1.33. So 0 minus 1.33, 0 minus 1.33, we get minus 0.33333. And now this 1 minus, now see the value, here it is 0 and here it is 4. So multiply 0 with 4, that is what? 0 divided by 3. 0 divided by 3 is what? 0. So subtract 0 from this 1. So 1 minus 0, we get 1. So here you would write 1. And once we get all this value, our process remains same. Now what we will do? Calculate value of Zj. How to calculate Zj? So there is a simple formula to calculate Zj. This value with CB means this value. Don't take XB, this value. So now 1200 into 0.666666. Do the calculation. 1200 into 0.66666. So we get 800. This is almost like 800. So we get like this. 1200 into this, that is 800, and 0 into this, that is 0, and the total of that is 800. So you have to write here 800. Now this with this. So 1200 into 1, 1200, 0 into 0, 0. Total of that is 1200. So here you have to write. Sorry. So here you have to write 1200. Now 1200 into 1, that is 1200, and 0 into 2, that is 0. So we have to write 1200. 1200 into 0.33333 is 400, and 0 into this is 0. So total of that is 400. And 1200 into 0 is 0, and 0 into 1 is 0. So we get 0 here. Okay. Once we have this, you have to find out Cj minus Zj. What is Cj? Cj, that is our first top column. This is 1000. This is Cj. 1000, 1200 and 1100. So 1000 minus this 800. 1000 minus 800, that is 200. Then 1200 minus 1200, that is 0. This is 1100. See, 1100. 1100 minus 1200, that is minus 100. Then 0 minus 400 is minus 400. And 0 minus 0 is 0. Now these two are negative, so just forget it. Only one positive value is there, then compulsory we have to select this as a key column. So these are the elements of key column now. This becomes our key column, and the corresponding variable. Corresponding variable means which variable? X1. X1 will enter. Now X1 will enter. In which place we have to write X1? Out of these two, we have to select the ratio. Here we have to select the ratio. Ratio. What is the formula? This XB, that is what? 200 divided by this value. Because it's positive value, we have to take ratio 0.66667. So let us do the calculation. 200 divided by 0.66667. So what we get? 299.99. That means 300. So here we get 300. And this is also positive. So take the ratio 0 divided by 0.33333. So that is what? 0. And out of this two, we have to select the minimum. Which one is minimum? 0. So this second row is a key row. So this becomes our key element. So this x2 will leave the basis, and in that place this x1 will enter. So now next table, here you have to write x2, and in place of s2 we have to write x1. So x1 will enter. See, x1 will enter in place of what? S2. Now how to calculate this? Okay, first of all, what is the coefficient of x2? Coefficient of x2 is 1200. It is there here. And what is the coefficient of x1? Coefficient of x1 in objective function is 1000. So you would write 1000 here. Now because this is key row, divide all this element by key element first of all. So 0 divided by 0.33333, that is 0. Then 3.3333 divided by same value, we get 1. Always in place of key element we get 1 in next table. Now 0 divided by this, that is 0. Now minus 2, listen, minus 2 divided by 0.33333, 2 divided by 0.33333, that is what, 6. So we get here minus 6 because this value is minus, so we get here minus 6. Minus 0.333 divided by this, we get minus 1. And 1 divided by 0.33333, we get 3. And in key column we have to write 0 here. And then remaining calculation same like as previous method. Now in place of this, the old value is what? 200. 200 minus the corresponding dotted value. The dotted value is this 0.6666, and here dotted value is 0. So multiply this with this, and obviously this into this is 0, divided by this element, that is what, 0, and that you have to subtract from this 200. So 200 minus 0, we get 200 here. Once again, let us calculate for this. So our old value is what? 1. 1 minus, now corresponding dotted value is what? 0, and here this. So multiply this 0 with this. So obviously it is 0. Divide it by this 0.333. That is also 0 by anything is 0. So we have to subtract 0 from this 1. 1 minus 0, that is what? 1. So you have to write 1 as it is here. Now for this. Now my old value is what? 1. 1 minus this and this. So this is minus, this is plus. So multiplication of that is minus. So here we get minus minus plus. And what we have to do? 2 with 0.66666 and divide it by 0.33333. So do the calculation. 2 into 0.66666 divided by 0.33333. So we get 4.0000 means 4. So we get here 4. So 1 plus 4 we get 5. So that 5 here you have to write. This is 5. Once again, how to get this 5? So 1 minus the corresponding dotted value is what? Minus 2 into 0.666 divided by 0.333. So this into this divided by this, and that is what? 4. So minus 4. So 1 minus minus 4. So 1 plus 4, 5. Now to calculate this value. So old value is this. Minus what we have to subtract? What we have to subtract? So this with this into this, divide by this. So obviously this and this are same. So once we multiply this and divide by this, we cancel this and only we get minus 0.66666. But that is also minus sign. So we have to add 0.66666. So we get ultimately 0.99999. That is nothing but what? 1. So we get here 1. And now the last value. 0 minus this 1 into 0.66666 divided by 0.33333. So if you calculate, you will get 2. So 0 minus 2, we get minus 2. So you would write minus 2 here. Okay, once we have all these values, let us calculate Zj. How to calculate Zj? This with this. So 1200 into 0, 0. 1000 into 1, that is what? 1000. So we have to write 1000 here. Okay, then after this 1200 into 1, 1200, and 1000 into 0, that is 0. So we get 1200. 1200 into 5, that is 6000. And 1000 into minus 6, that is minus 6000. So total of that is 0. 1200 into 1, 1200, and 1000 into minus 1, that is minus 1000. 1200 minus 1000, we get 200. Now this minus 1200 into minus 2 minus 2400, and 3 into, sorry, 1 into 3000 minus 2400, that is what, 600. And now Cj minus Zj. Now Cj, see the values of Cj, that is the first top row, 1000, 1200, 1100, 00. So 1000 minus 1000, 0. 1200 minus 1200, 0. 1100 minus 0, that is what, 1100. Then 0 minus 200 is minus 200, and 0 minus 600 minus 600. Still this is positive, so we have to consider this as a key column. So x3 will enter into the basis, and these are the elements of key column. But this value is negative, so don't take ratio. But this is positive, so take the ratio with what? This 1200. So 1200 divided by 5, 1200 divided by 5, we get 240. So this is the only one positive value. So this becomes our key row. So this becomes our key row, and this becomes our key element, and this variable will leave the basis, and which one will enter? X3 will enter. So X3 will enter into the basis in next table. X3 will enter into the basis in place of what? X2, and this X1 remains as it is, and we get next table. So that is the way to solve. Once we get all this Cj minus Zj negative or 0, we can say that it is the end of the example. You try to complete to find out all these values, and in next lecture we will continue with this table if you have any doubt. So this is enough for today. We will discuss your